and welcome to another iStore Meets session. My name is Stefan and I shall be doing your training today. Today we are looking at getting started with your iPhone, and based on that poll, a lot of you are using the latest iPhone 12. I'm so jealous right now. It's such an amazing device. So I'm glad that you're joining us today, guys. You're really going to learn so much about these devices that you're going to use every single day. But before we get started, let's just go over a couple of things. First of all, this is an interactive session, so please feel free to chat to us in the chat line. Tell us where you are from, what you are currently experiencing by using these amazing devices of yours, as well as a Q&A section that we have. So if you have any particular questions based on the session today, please feel free to pop those questions in the Q&A and we will answer all of your questions for you. Or even if you have a question after the session, please hang on afterwards, put those questions in the Q&A and I will answer all of them for you. Great stuff. Right. Also, if you would like to become a host on iStore Meets, please feel free to contact our team by using the email that you currently see on your screen, and you could be one of our hosts on one of our iStore Meet sessions. It will be really great having you online. And with all this talking about experiences of these great devices that we use every single day, we would love for you to share with us your experiences by posting that experience on social media, whether it's maybe learning something from getting started with iPhone, or maybe another product, iPad, Mac, or maybe learning about iMovie, a movie that you've created or music that you've created. Post it on social media, and then using the hashtag iStore Meets, you can stand a chance in winning a 1,500 Rand iStore gift voucher. It's really great prizes up for grabs, guys. So please post away on social media. It will be really awesome seeing all of you sharing that experience that you have with these great devices. Right, let's get into the session, guys. So let me just share up my iPhone screen and then we can get it started. There we go. Right, awesomeness, and let me start my camera as well so everybody can see me. Hello everyone, like I said, my name is Stefan and I shall be conducting your training. Awesomeness. So getting started with iPhone. Now this is really going to be a great one, especially if you have the latest iPhone 12 in your hands. It's really going to be a great experience for all of you guys. So let's just talk about the main physicality that we have on our devices and how we can maneuver around these wonderful devices that we have. So if you're still using the previous generation iPhone, so even the latest iPhone SE, you would still have the home button right there at the very bottom, and you will use Touch ID to go in and out of your device to unlock it, or maybe for authentication purposes. So then on the side of our devices this time around, we have our lock sleep button. So that button you're going to press every single time you want to lock your screen or to unlock it, or you can physically just tap on the screen and it will wake up the device. Then on the other side of our devices, we have three separate buttons. So the top one, that's a switch that we have right there. So that is your silent button. So if I flick that switch down, you will notice on my screen immediately tells me silent mode on. So if it goes orange on the side, it means that yes, you are on silent mode. And just with a flick up, it goes back into normal volume that you will have. And then talking about volume, right below that, we have our volume control buttons that you can easily press up and down to increase or decrease your volume. Then talking about the new devices, we all love this amazing full screen display that we currently have. So you no longer have a home button, as I mentioned with the iPhone SE or a previous generation iPhone. No, you have a full on screen that you can do everything that we love to do on these devices. So now to unlock your device, you will use Face ID this time round. So we have a true depth camera system right there on top that actually makes a full on 3D mirror image of your face to unlock it. So it's 1 in a million chance that somebody might unlock your device with their face. So you are the only one who will be able to use your device or physically unlock it. And yes, your eyes needs to be open before your device will be unlocked. Right, but let's jump into the software, because that is essentially what this is all about. How we can use the software and really make this experience so amazing on everything that we do on our iPhones. First of all, our main home screen. Okay, so but based on this particular training, everything is based on iOS 14, the latest software that Apple has released. So this is really going to be a good one. So on our home screens, this is where we can find all of our applications. So the first time you switch on your device, you are met with a certain number of applications that we currently have right there. So those are Apple's physical applications that they provide for you that you can use every single day. But you can always go to our wonderful App Store to download all those applications that you would like to use every single day. So whether it's maybe for productivity, for education, for social, private, whatever the case may be, you can use any application. So essentially that main saying goes, if you think about it, there's an app for it. Definitely jump onto the App Store to download all those applications that you would like to use on your device. Right, but now we have all these amazing applications. But then normally we want to structure our applications a little bit better, maybe putting them on each on a separate page, maybe structure or categorizing our pages according to certain applications that we are using. Maybe all of your productivity applications on one page, all of your social media applications on one page, or maybe all of your, good grief, photography applications on one page. However it is that you are using your iPhone, it all depends on how you physically want to use your pages or screens and where you can find your applications. At the very bottom of your device, that little bar that you can see right there with those 4 applications, that is what we call the dock. And right on top of that, there's 2 little buttons. So those 2 little dots means that, yes, I've got 2 pages of applications that I currently have on my device. So the more dots you will have, the more pages you actually have based on the applications that you have. But on our docks at the bottom, there's 4 applications. So those ones will be your frequently used apps. Every single time you need to go into that one particular application that you know you use frequently, maybe it's your mail, your messages, your Safari, whatever the case may be, put them on your dock so you know no matter what page you are on currently using, you can always go into that one application because it is permanently on your dock that you can easily just jump into at that point in time. Otherwise, you can put it on any particular page of applications or page, depending on how you've set up your device. But how do we move our applications around from one to the other one? Or maybe from the dock, maybe moving an application out of your dock and replacing it with another application. How do we go about this? So let me show you how this is done. So we have 2 different options of what you can choose from to do this. Either you can force touch, so you can press and hold on a haptic touch on any application and you get more information based on that app. I'm just going to use the Files application as an example. If I force touch on my Files application, I get more options. So one of them is to edit my home screen or to remove my application. So it doesn't tell me to delete it. It just tells me to remove. And I'm coming to that section a little bit later on. It's really going to blow you away. But essentially, I can tap on Edit Home Screen, and then I can start moving my applications around. But there's another way to do that. It's called Jiggle Mode. So then you will press and hold any open section on your screen, and watch what happens, guys. If I press and hold, immediately all my applications, they start shaking. So this is jiggle mode because they're jiggling. So now you can move your applications around and place them in a place where you physically want them. So maybe let's say, for instance, I don't want my calendar on my dock. I would rather have my mail there because I constantly go into my mail application. So it's as easy as tap and hold and drag. So I'm going to take my calendar application, I'm going to tap it and drag it all the way up onto my main screen. As you can see right there, immediately it made a space between 2 other applications, or depending on where I want to put it, I just move it into that space and all those other applications will move up according to where I want to place it. And then I just release, and now my calendar is immediately on my main home screen. And then I can just go and take my mail, do the same thing, tap and drag, and I drag it all the way down to the dock, and now it's permanently situated on my dock. It's really, really great that I can do this. But now let's maybe say you want to have a whole separate page. Like I mentioned, you maybe want to categorize your applications according to a separate page of applications. So how do we go and create a whole new page of applications? All you do is you take your application, you tap and drag, but this time you drag it to the side of your screen. So I'm just going to use my Keynote as an example. Take Keynote and I drag it to the side, and boom, it immediately jumps to that next page. But if I now want to create a whole new page of applications, I just drag it to that side of the screen once more. And there you go. Whoops, I jumped into my app library. I'm going to go to that one in a moment. Okay, but there you are. I just created a whole new page where I can have those particular applications that I want. But now you may be thinking, okay, Stefan, yes, but it's going to take me forever to take one application after the other one and trying to create all of these separate pages of applications. Isn't there a faster way to do this? For sure there is. All you do is you can tap on one application. So I tap and drag. So I've just selected my numbers application. But now let's maybe say I want to use it or take my compass, my photos, voicemail, or voice memos, fitness, and wallet as well. All I do is I tap on them. So I tap on photos, tap on compass, tap, tap, and tap. So I've now selected 6 applications. So you can move multiple apps from one page to another page as you please. So now you can either take it directly to the side of the screen and it will jump to that next page, or you can just use your hand that's free and you can swipe on your screen to go to that page wherever you want to go and just release. And there's all those applications immediately available. I can even go to this particular page. Let's maybe say I want to have my pages there. I want to have maybe my measure application, my watch, my stocks, and even my calculator. And then I just swipe to the side and release, and all of them is immediately available on that page that I took them to. It's really such a great experience. But let's take it a step further. So instead of having maybe pages of applications, what if we could maybe create folders of applications? So yes, you can indeed have multiple folders of different applications based on categories, whatever the case may be, or however you want to structure your application menu on your actual device. So let's go back into jiggle mode, tap and hold anywhere on the open screen. Now to create a folder, I need to take any application and I simply drag it over another application. So I'm going to use my iWork family for this. So my iWork family, that is my pages, my numbers, and my keynote. That is your equivalent to Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So, and it's a free application, guys. All of your iWork family applications that Apple provides for you is for free. You can use it anytime you want, and the updates are for free. It's really amazing. But how do we move these applications into a folder? So let me just go back into jiggle mode. I'm going to take my pages and I drag it over numbers and watch what happens. And there you go. I just created a folder and it's called productivity. So, but I don't want to call it productivity. No, I want to call this iWork. So I know that, yes, this is my iWork folder where I can have all my productivity applications. So I tap on productivity, that X that you see right there next to productivity. I tap on that. My keyboard pops up and I can rename the folder. So I want to call this iWork. Perfect. Done. There is my folder. And I can even go and take my keynote and drag it into that same folder and it will be placed permanently right there. Awesomeness. But I don't know whether you've noticed at the bottom of my folder, I've got 2 buttons. It just means that, yes, I can have multiple applications or multiple pages of applications inside of a folder. It's really brilliant that I can even structure it according to that. And the great part about this particular folder, guys, is that I can even take this folder and put it on my dock. So if you want to have multiple apps in a folder on your dock, you can even take that directly onto your dock to access it directly from that point anytime you need to. So you can even have 4 separate folders on your dock based on applications that you want there. It's really such a beautiful experience. Seriously, right? So if you want to take any application out of a folder, all you do is you go back into jiggle mode. You take those applications. Let me just take all 3 of them. Tap, tap, tap. Wonderful. And I drag them out of my folder this time around, and the folder will get removed altogether. Wonderful. So that is how you can easily move your applications around, maybe to a separate page, creating folders and all of that. It's really such a beautiful experience. So you can really structure your entire desktop according to how you physically want it. Okay, but let's take that a little step further. So that one page that I accidentally actually went into before I actually got there, app library. So this time around with iOS 14, Apple decided, okay, some of our users don't always want to have all of their applications on separate pages on their devices. They maybe just want to have one page of applications where they can access all of those apps that they want to use every single day, just the one page, and the rest they put in their app library. So your app library is just the mirror image of all your applications that you have on your device. So I currently have 3 pages, as you can see right there at the bottom, 3 dots, 3 pages. After my 3rd page, if I swipe one more time to the left-hand side, I'm accessing my app library. Now, in my app library, it categorizes all my applications that I have on my iPhone according to what type of application it is. So right on top, suggestions, that is just the apps that you maybe went into recently or frequently in that regard. It will always have those 4 applications available right there. Recently added, that is only the applications that you maybe recently downloaded will be immediately available inside of that app or that particular section of my app library. And then it keeps on going according to those folders. All my utility application in one particular place, all my productivity applications, creativity, social, all of those ones immediately available for me to use whenever I want to. So if you don't want to have multiple pages of apps, you can just keep everything in your app library and just one open screen on your device, depending on how you physically want to do it. But also depending on how many applications you have on your device. Sometimes you don't know where that app is, but if you know what the app is called, all you do is you go right there on top where it says app library with that magnifying glass, you tap on that, and it gives you an alphabetical order of all the apps that you have on your device. And then you can just simply go and type it out. Maybe I'm looking for my measure application. So I just type out measure. There we go. Immediately I have that available to me. It's really a beautiful, beautiful experience, just knowing that I can immediately access any application I want in my app library. So like I mentioned, you don't necessarily have to have numerous pages of applications. So how do we go about structuring it in that regard? Maybe removing those pages and only have one particular page of apps and then my app library. Let me show you how this is done. Let's go back into jiggle mode. So remember, tap and hold any open section until they start shaking. Wonderful. Now, on the bottom part, just on top of my dock, where those dots are to say how many pages of applications I have, now it's being encircled. So all I do is I tap on that particular section. And now I can decide, okay, how many pages do I actually need or want? So let's maybe say I just want my one page of application. So I can tap on that bottom part, on that tick that it provides me at the bottom of that screen, and the bottom of that one, tick. I removed those pages, and now I only have the one page. So don't worry, guys. Those apps will still be available in my app library. So don't worry if you maybe don't want those pages. If they have applications on them, you can always access them inside of your app library. So now if I tap on done in the top corner, I now only have one page of applications. And then if I swipe, I'm already in my app library where I can go to all of those other applications that I have on my device. It's really a great experience by only having one page and then my app library. It's beautiful, beautiful, guys. Right, so let me just go and add those 2 extra pages, because the next section that I want to show you guys, it's really going to blow you away just to be so much more productive on your iPhones. So let's just go back into jiggle mode, tap, and I can re-add those 2 pages anytime I want. Done. Wonderful. Perfect. Right. So sometimes we would like to, in the morning, let's maybe say, if you get up in the morning, when you first pick up your iPhone for the very first time in that morning, you would like to maybe get an update on the weather forecast, or maybe you want to see what your calendar events are. So normally the case would be is that you would have to physically unlock your device, go into calendar, seeing that, okay, I know there's not really much happening this coming week, or whatever the case may be, or maybe the weather update. Okay, yes, the weather looks great, it's fine, wonderful, cloudy skies, rain, whatever the case may be. But what if we can actually get more information based on certain applications with just a glance? So this next section that they've now added with iOS 14 provides you more information on certain apps. And it's called widgets. So we have our widget center, but we can also add widgets directly on our main home screen. So to access your widget center from my main home screen, all I do is I swipe to the right-hand side, and I'm in my widget center where I can get access to that information based on certain applications. So right there on top, I've got my photos, I've got my calendar, my weather update, my maps, maybe my tips, battery life, stocks, as well as my screen time that I have immediately available there. But how can I add these widgets directly on my home screen? So yes, you can actually do that. Let's go back into jiggle mode. Tap and hold. And right there in the top left-hand corner, there's a plus sign that we see right there. If I tap on that plus sign, I go into my widget gallery. So in my widget gallery, I can add from multiple or choose from multiple widgets that I can immediately add to my home screen. Maybe you want your fitness, you have the Apple Watch and you want to have your fitness update or fitness gallery or physically widget on your home screen. You can add that directly there. Like I mentioned, your calendar, your notes, maps, reminders, weather, music, you name it, you can have it directly on your home screen. It's such a great thing to actually add. And if you keep on scrolling, it will show you all the applications that's available as a widget. So even your third-party applications, if you downloaded an application and want to know whether it provides a widget, just go into your widget gallery, scroll all the way to the bottom and see all those third-party apps if they are available as a widget. So sometimes, yes, numerous applications will be available as a widget inside of your widget gallery. It's really great. But now, like I mentioned, let's maybe say in the morning when I get up, I would like to see the weather update. Perfect. So I've got my weather widget right there. I tap on it, and now I can go and choose. I can choose from a small widget, as you can see right there, from a medium-sized widget, or a full-blown large widget that shows me so much more information based on that particular application that it provides. Let me just go back there. Perfect. But I don't want to get that full large one. I think just this medium one would suffice for what information I would like to get in the morning without physically going into my weather application. So I tap on Add Widget, and boom, there it is on my main home screen, guys. Yes, this is great. So now I can move this widget around by tapping and dragging. I can maybe put it in the middle or at the bottom, depending on where I want to physically place it. It's really wonderful. So there is my main widget in the center that whenever I unlock my iPhone in the morning, I can immediately just at a glance see the weather update for the day. It's really such a beautiful experience. Well, let's maybe say I want to even add my calendar because it is available. So let's tap on that plus sign once more and let's go and add my calendar. Wonderful. So yes, again, you can choose from a medium, like a small, a medium, or a large type of widget. It's really great. So let's maybe say this time around, I would like to have a small one. So let's add it, and there you go. And immediately all the other apps will just make a space for that particular widget, depending on where you physically want to place that widget. It's really great how we can go about this. And like I mentioned, you can even add large ones. So if I tap on plus once more, I can even, let's maybe say I want to add my notes there. So I tap on notes, and I can even add a full-blown large widget right there. Add widget. There we go. And it takes up literally half of my screen. But that's great. So I can immediately see all of my notes, and I can simply tap on them to go into that particular note. It's really a beautiful, beautiful experience. And you will know, you will never, ever want to use your iPhone in any other way ever again. Right. But let's take that one step further when it comes to widget, guys. Right. So let's tap on plus once more. And let me talk to you guys about smart stacks, so a smart widget stack. Essentially what this means, it means that yes, I can add multiple widgets on top of one another that I can easily swipe through, whoops a daisy, that I can swipe through those widgets to actually get more information based on whatever application I have in that particular stack. So let's go to the bottom, or just swipe a little bit, and I say add a smart stack. Tap on it. Again, you can choose from small, medium, or large. Let's add a medium this time around. Add, there we go. And as you can see, that stack on the side, it shows little dots. It just shows how many different applications I currently have inside of that stack. But what if I want to structure that stack a little bit better according to my own personal taste, not necessarily the apps that Apple provides? All you do is you tap and hold on that smart widget stack. If I tap and hold, I get three different options: edit stack, edit home screen, or remove stack. Okay, so remove, whether it's a stack or maybe remove application, like I mentioned earlier on, that just means you're removing it from your home screen and it will go, or it will always be available in your app library. So you're not deleting it, you're just removing that particular application. Right, but let's go back into that smart widget stack. And I say this time around, edit stack. So I tap on edit stack, and now I can go and choose to say, yes, now I don't want Siri suggestions. I just swipe on it and I can say delete. I don't want maps there. No, swipe, delete. Wonderful. I don't want my photos there. No, delete. Wonderful. So now I only have my weather, my calendar, my music, and my notes. But what if I want to add more? So yes, you can even add up to 10 widgets inside of a stack. So let's play around, shall we? Let's go back into jiggle mode. Tap and hold, tap on the plus sign. So let's maybe say, yes, I want my podcast. Yes, that would be great inside of that stack. Tap on podcast, add widget. Okay, but now it's been added on top of that widget. It's not part of that stack. So how do I add that widget as part of that smart widget stack that I created? All I do is I tap and I drag that widget onto that widget stack. So just keeping in mind, guys, that the widgets needs to be that particular size for you to create that stack. Even if it's an already existing stack, or just one widget, you can even drag one widget over another widget to create a stack from that point on. But let's add my podcast to that stack by tapping and dragging onto that stack, and there it is immediately available directly from that point. Maybe I want my fitness there as well. So I tap on my fitness options, add widget, wonderful, and I add it directly part of that stack. Wonderful. That is really a great way just to be a little bit more productive on your device. But what is the main benefit of having a smart widget stack, guys? Essentially, it's all based on machine learning. So throughout the day, whenever you pick up your phone to look at something or to do something, the device will know what it is that you normally do at that point in time. Maybe in the afternoon, you like to watch or maybe get your look at your notes. And then when you pick up your device, at that point in time, notes will be on top, ready for you to get accessed. Or maybe you would like to know what your fitness goals are at that point in time. Your fitness one will be on top, ready for you to view it directly from that point. Or maybe you like to listen to your podcasts. So your podcasts will be on top each and every time your device gets picked up. Based on what you normally do at that point in time of the day, the device will know which widget to add to that physical or view on top on that more smart widget stack. It's really beautiful. It's great how it actually knows what we want to do on our devices. It's really wonderful. But yes, that is how you can add your widgets just for quick information at a glance on your main home screen, and it really looks stunning when we browse around our devices. It's really such a beautiful feature. Right, but now talking about all these great features, moving around our applications, adding widgets, but what else can we do that really makes our iPhones great? So essentially, with the new devices, we now have numerous gestures as well that we move around to maneuver around our devices. In the past, if you still have the devices with the home button, you would normally press your home button to go out of an application. So essentially, if you're in your calendar, just for argument's sake, how do I go out of my calendar? If you have the home button, you would press your home button, right? And then it will go out of that application back to your home screen, essentially home button. But how do we do that with our latest devices with the full screen? So that line that you see right there at the bottom, all you do is you swipe up, and I'm out of that application. If I want to go to my files, immediately in my files. If I want to go out, swipe from the bottom, I'm out of my files. Great stuff. But now that I've went into that file or into that particular application, it's now running in the background. I haven't closed that application. I just went out of it. So it's still running in the background. All of my applications that I went into, whether it's maybe reminders, maybe my music, whatever the case may be, all of those apps are still running in the background. I just went out of them. I didn't close them. So how do I close my applications on my iPhone? With your home button, you would double press your home button and you would go into what we call the app switcher. And then you can easily see all of your applications that's open and swipe up on those apps to close them. But how do I do that with our full screen devices? Let me show you how. In any application, or even directly here from your home screen, let me just go into an app so I can show you guys directly from there. Let's just go to my health application. If I now want to go into my app switcher, all I do is I swipe and hold for a couple of seconds. Swipe up and hold. And there's my app switcher that I can easily see all of those apps that's running in the background. Like I mentioned, if you want to close them, all you do is you swipe up on those applications to close that particular app that you have accessed. It's really great that I know immediately I can just go into my app switcher. So even if you're going to Safari and you quickly want to just go into that app switcher, swipe and hold, and you're in that app switcher. Or even if you received a message and you want to maybe go back into another application, you swipe and hold, Oh yes, there's Safari. Tap on it and you're back in there. But let me show you a much faster route that really is great for you multitasking users out there. So let's maybe say, yes, you're browsing on Apple's website according to the new iPhone 12. It's really such a fantastic device, guys. And you want to learn more about these amazing devices, all the great features that it offers. But you want to then share that with a friend or colleague or a family member, whatever the case may be. So you want to share this particular page. So how do we know whether we can share content on our devices? So anytime you want to share something, you will have the following icon right there at the bottom of my application, where it has that line at the bottom, but right on top of it, we have numerous icons. So we have that double block to show that, yes, that's all the different tabs that I have currently open, that book, that's my reader. And then in the very center, we have our share button. So to share anything, as long as it has that block with the arrow sticking out, it means that I can share this with somebody else. So I tap on that sharing option, and it then gives me options of how I can share it. So it provides me with numerous applications that I can choose from on how I can share this particular app or this particular page that I'm currently browsing. Or it just tells me, yes, I can copy it, add to my reading list or to a bookmark, add to a favorite, markup, print, whatever it is that I want to do, it provides me with all those options. Great, but I want to copy this. So I copy this particular link, but now I want to send that to a friend of mine or a colleague or a group, whatever the case may be. So I know that I went into my messages before I went into my Safari. So now, because if I go into my app switcher, guys, if I just go into that one, you will notice that there's messages and there's Safari. But to quickly go there, instead of having to go to my app switcher, then tapping on that one, or even going out of this application and then tapping on my messages, all I do on that bottom line that you can see right there, just swipe to the side and watch what happens. I'm immediately in my messages ready to send this particular page to them. So all I do is I tap on message, tap once again, and then I say paste. And then I can send that and tell my team members, look at this, guys. What a wonderful device it is. Oops, Daisy, it is. Wonderful. There we go. As simple as that. And then all I do, because I know, yes, I've used my messages now, to go back to Safari, just swipe at the bottom once more, and I'm back in Safari, and I can continue browsing or doing whatever I want to do. So even if it's social media and you quickly want to share something, maybe copy a photograph or whatever the case may be, and you quickly want to share that, just swipe if you know that application is there, or you can just keep on swiping until you get to that application that you actually want to use. It's really a great, great feature just to quickly multitask from one app to the other one. Wonderful. Okay, but now talking about all these great gestures that we have on our devices. If you are using the home button and you swiped up from the bottom, you most likely said, okay, Stefan, but I'm going into a different section there. It doesn't look like App Switcher or anything like that. Yes, you have to double press your home button to go into App Switcher, but you are going into a whole new different section on our devices. I'm going to get to that one in a moment, but let's maybe say, oh, if you are receiving notifications every single day, because essentially that is what we do on our devices. We communicate with one another and we receive notifications. Maybe it's from social media, from news, from a weather update, or maybe an email, whatever the case may be, you will always receive your notifications directly on your device. So if you stepped away from your device, or if your device is locked, every single time you then pick your device up, that notification is immediately on your home screen waiting for you to attend to it. But maybe you just stepped away from your device. It was unlocked, it was still obviously on the main home screen. You just quickly stepped away, something came through, you get back to your device, but you didn't know it came through. How do we find those notifications on our devices? From the very top of your iPhone, you're going to swipe down and you're going to access your notification center. Swipe down and there you are with all your old notifications that you still need to attend to. Currently, I've got those notifications right there from photos and from my podcasts. So how do I manage my notifications that I receive every single day? So I don't know whether you can see on my podcast, it actually looks like they're also stacked. They're grouped together. It's because that, yes, there is multiple notifications inside of that particular application. So let's maybe say, like I mentioned at the beginning of the session, if you want to share all your amazing experiences by posting something on social media and you get one like after the other one, Then in your notification center, normally it would be one after the other one, literally just going forever, hundreds of different lights. But with the latest software, it will actually get grouped together, like you currently can see on my podcast. So if I want to release all of those notifications, all I do is I tap on it, tap, and it gets released directly from there, so I can easily see which one I actually want to attend to. And I can just tap on show less if I want to take it back into that group. But how do I manage these notifications that I have received? All I do is I swipe on it to the side. So if I swipe on that notification, I get 3 different options. Clear all. If I tap on that, it just means I'm clearing it out of my notification center. I'm not clearing it as a notification in the app. I'm just clearing it from my notification center. View. If I tap on view, it just opens it in my notification center that I can quickly attend to it and then move on from that one. So maybe it's a message that you received, but you don't want to go physically into your messages application. You just quickly want to reply, just tap on view and you can quickly reply to it and move on with whatever it is that you were doing. And then manage. That is how you can manage your notifications. So if I tap on manage, I can say deliver quietly. So in other words, it will only come through in the background in my notification center. I won't get a physical notification when this particular application sends me one. Turn off just means I'm turning it off completely. I don't want to receive notifications, but you can always manage it even further by tapping on settings, and it will take you to your settings on how you can receive those notifications for that particular application. It's really, really great. Wonderful. And that X that you can see right there next to the notification center, if I tap on that, I'm just clearing all my notifications out of my notification center. It's really great that I can structure it in that regard. And in my notification center, I can quickly access or quickly control 2 certain features on my device. At the bottom, it tells me camera and flashlight. So I can quickly tap on my camera to access my camera from my notification center, or quickly access my flashlight directly from that point. It's really great. But where do we find all the other quick controls that we have on our devices, just to quickly maneuver around our devices a little bit better? So I mentioned with you guys using the home button, because you most likely swiped up from the bottom and you accessed a different section of your device. So that is where I'm going with this. Control center. It's where all of your controls for your device will be situated. So with you users with a full screen display, iPhone 12, iPhone 11, iPhone 10, whatever the case may be, if you swipe from the bottom, you either go out of an app or you go into your app switcher. So where's our control center on our iPhones? Where my battery is, right there in the top right-hand corner, you're going to swipe down from that right-hand corner, and you are inside of your control center. This is where all the controls that you can quickly access or just maneuver around your device a little bit more sufficiently. That first block that we see right there, the airplane, our mobile network, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. But there's 2 hidden ones, if you did not know. If we force touch on that section, we can quickly access it. So force touch, and I get access to everything that's inside of that particular control setting. Airplane mode, yes, you can immediately put your device on airplane mode if you board an airplane and you want to use the device in offline mode. So in other words, airplane mode will just switch off your mobile data and your Wi-Fi network, essentially, because that is what interferes with the plane's equipment. It's not your device. So essentially your airplane mode will just switch off those particular settings, and you can still use your device in offline mode. So all your music that you listen to offline, or a book that you're reading, a game that you're playing, whatever the case may be, if it's available offline, you can still use it whilst airplane mode is active. Okay, mobile data, you can quickly and easily switch it off from there. The same as with your Wi-Fi network and Bluetooth. But if you quickly want to connect to another Wi-Fi network, all you do is you force touch on Wi-Fi. And guess what happens, guys? Yes, you can have access to all the Wi-Fi networks that you have in your region. If it has that lock next to it, yes, you will need a password to connect to that Wi-Fi network. Otherwise, if it does not have a lock, you can connect to it anytime you want. It's really, really great. But then those 2 bottom ones that you most likely did not see in that particular section, force touch, essentially that is your AirPlay or AirDrop and personal hotspot. So personal hotspot speaks for itself. If you want to create a hotspot from your phone so somebody else can use your data, just tap on personal hotspot, give them your password, and they can immediately connect to your device. So not your Apple ID password, guys, no. So it's a different password that you have to physically go and set up in your settings in personal hotspot options. Okay, but AirDrop, now that is, in my opinion, the best thing since sliced bread. It allows you as a user to send anything, and guys, I literally mean anything, from one Apple device to another Apple device by just using Bluetooth. So whether it's a photograph, a video, music, a file, contacts, an email, a web page, whatever it is that you want to share with somebody else, if they have an Apple device, you can send it via AirDrop. So you don't have to attach it as a physical content or whatever the case may be onto a mail or a message before you send it through to them. You can just use AirDrop and they will receive it on their side. So currently mine says everyone, but how do I change that? Maybe yours says contacts only, or maybe yours says off, receiving off completely. How do we change that? So you force touch on AirDrop and you get more options. So receiving off, like I mentioned, just means that yes, you've turned it off completely. You don't want to receive anything via AirDrop from any other Apple user. Contact only just means that yes, that person needs to have you as a physical contact so that they can send you something using AirDrop. So they need to have your name, surname, phone number, Apple ID, email address, all of that information to see you as a user before they can send you something using AirDrop. And everyone just means that you're open, completely open to receiving anything on your site. So let me just quickly show you how it will look like. So if I go into my photographs, here we go, and I want to share one of these beautiful, beautiful photographs, maybe this one. And like I said, guys, if you want to share anything, that icon, that block with the arrow sticking out, that is your sharing icon. I tap on it and I get numerous options. And one of them is AirDrop. If I tap on AirDrop, I can then see all the devices I can share it to. So if I tap on one of them, they will get a notification on their side to say, okay, yes, I accept or decline that particular AirDrop that I want to receive. It's really a great, great way just to quickly send something from one Apple device to another one. Just keeping in mind, the larger the file, the longer it's going to take to send, but essentially it will send anything using AirDrop. It's really, really a beautiful feature. Right, next to that one, where it says not playing, but essentially we all love listening to music or listening to a podcast or watching a video, but that is where you can control it. So if we force touch on it once more, you can then control it. Maybe you want to fast forward, maybe skip this one, increase the volume, decrease the volume, but maybe you even want to maybe play it onto a Bluetooth headset or maybe a Bluetooth speaker. Or if you have the Apple TV and you want to hand off AirPlay from your iPhone onto the Apple TV, you can do that directly from this point. You see that flashing icon over there, that's those circles with the triangle. If I tap on that, I can decide how I want to share my audio. Maybe I have it, like I said, maybe you have the AirPods or maybe a Bluetooth speaker that you quickly want to AirPlay onto that device. You can immediately select it and it will AirPlay onto that particular device. It's beautiful. And if you have the Apple TV, yes, you can just tap Apple TV and immediately your device will hand it off onto that device and you can listen it to on a huge surround sound system if you have that Apple TV, or maybe a boombox speaker, the JBL one that we sell in store. It's really a great device. But yes, essentially you can AirPlay from your phone onto another Bluetooth device. It's really, really great. Quick controls, let's talk about all of those ones. So that circle with the block inside, that is your rotation. So if I turn my rotation off, what does that mean? It means that if I go into certain applications and if I turn my phone horizontally, it'll immediately change according to that orientation that I'm holding my device. And if I turn it back, it goes back into portrait. The same applies if you go maybe to photographs and you want to view certain photographs in maybe a more or a better horizontal type of way. Wonderful, that looks much better. And if I take it back to portrait, it will go according to that particular orientation. But if you want to lock that, if you don't want to have your device constantly switching between horizontal and portrait, you lock your rotation. So we go to Control Center and we lock it by tapping on that icon. And then if you go into an application, let's maybe just go back into that one. And if I turn my phone, it's not going to change. Nothing is going to move because I locked my orientation according to how I physically want to use my iPhone. It's really a great, great feature. Next to that one, do not disturb. So essentially, why would one want to use do not disturb? If you are walking into a meeting and your boss will have your head if you receive a phone call or a notification during that meeting. So that is where do not disturb will save you from getting your head chopped off. So essentially you can tap on it And all your notifications will still come through, but they will come through in the background. So you will have to go to your notification center from the very top of your device, swiping down. And that is where you can then attend to those notifications after your meeting. Wonderful. But also when it comes to phone calls, if Do Not Disturb is active and you receive a phone call, immediately that phone call will go to voicemail. If that person then phones you back within a minute, it will put the call through because the device will know, okay, this person desperately wants to get hold of you, puts the call through regardless of whether Do Not Disturb is on or off. Okay, but if that contact is as a favorite or an emergency contact, it will bypass Do Not Disturb altogether and the call will come through regardless. Wonderful. Okay, then just below that, dock connector. Yours most likely will say screen mirroring. It's just the reason why mine is telling you dock connectors, because I'm currently connected via a cable onto my Mac, so I can stream my iPhone onto Zoom, talking to all of you wonderful, wonderful people out there. But essentially, if you want to stream everything that's happening on your iPhone onto a monitor or maybe an Apple TV, you will tap on that screen mirroring option and it will give you options of how you can physically connect your device. So if it's connected via a cable onto a monitor, you will have dock connector. But if you have the Apple TV, you can immediately stream everything that's happening on your device onto an Apple TV using AirPlay. It's really, really beautiful. Then next to that, we have our brightness that you can immediately change. And next to that one, our volume control that you can easily connect in that regard. But our brightness has got 3 different options that you can easily change. How do we change that, guys? We force touch. So if you force touch on that section, you get access to all of those things. We have dark mode, night shift, and true tone. And we quickly talk about true tone. So essentially true tone, it's just adjusting the ambient. So depending on your ambient lighting where you find yourself in, your actual screen will adjust according to that ambient lighting. So it will increase the brightness or decrease it, or maybe add a little bit more color, maybe a little bit more yellow, a little bit more blue, orange, whatever the case may be. It will always adjust according to that ambient lighting that you find yourself in, just so you can really see all the true colors on your screen. Night shift, let's talk about that one for a moment. We all love spending time on our devices, especially if we jump into bed. Personally, I'm guilty as charged. I love watching my YouTube videos or maybe catching up on some news on my iPhone as I jump into bed. But that blue-white light that the device actually gives off, believe it or not, guys, it actually stimulates your brain. So when you finally decide to put your device down and you want to then try and go to sleep, emphasis on try, is because your brain is still going because of that blue-white light that stimulates it constantly. So it's like a hamster on a wheel that it just keeps on going and you struggle to fall asleep. So that is why Apple introduced night shift. It actually tints your screen to a more yellow state so that you can just see everything still perfectly normal on your device, but it's not as harsh with that blue-white light that it actually gives off. But if you are really a night owl and you love using your device at night, you would want to use dark mode. So let's activate dark mode next to night shift. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Immediately, I don't know whether you've noticed that my entire background immediately went so much darker. And that is all that dark mode is. It really goes all out, guys. So essentially, if I go into certain applications, maybe my notes, it has a much darker, blacker background. Or even maybe my health application will have a darker background. My files will be much darker. Home, reminders, all of those applications, even my calendar has gone dark. So essentially that is what dark mode is. It just goes completely black and everything just pops out on the screen so you can see it so much better. So depending on whether you want to have dark mode permanently or not permanently, you can even schedule it according to how you want to physically use your device. So how do we schedule our dark mode, guys? Let's go to settings. So if you jump into settings, you scroll down a little bit where it tells you display and brightness. We tap on that one and right there on top, appearance, light or dark. You can decide which one you want to use, but you can also set it to happen automatically. So automatically means that yes, when the sun sets tonight, it will automatically go into dark mode. And tomorrow morning when the sun rises, it will automatically go back into light mode. It's really a great, great way just to move around your device just so much more easily. Okay, so that is how you can activate dark mode. Let me just reactivate my light mode a little bit better. Right, and then at the bottom, we have our quick access point. So quick controls, flashlight, timer, calculator, and camera. And then at the bottom, I don't know whether you've noticed that I've got an extra one there. So that is screen recording. So yes, guys, you can actually record your entire screen and then share it with a contact, a family member, a colleague, friend, whatever the case may be. You can immediately share whatever it is that you are doing on your device. So maybe you sent something on iMessage and you used an emoji, and your family member or friend asks you, how did you do that? You can record your screen, taking them step by step, and then send it as a video that they can easily see how you have done it. It's really beautiful. But how do I add those extra controls to my control center? Let's jump back into settings and then just go back to normal settings. And then just where it says general, just below that, control center. And there's all the extra controls that you can add. Maybe you want to have an Apple TV remote. Yes, you can use your device as an Apple TV remote. Or maybe low power mode. You can add those as well. A stopwatch. Yes, beautiful. I have all of these extra controls that I can add to my control center. And then if I go into my control center, there they are. Every single one of them ready for me to use whenever I want to quickly just access that particular functionality on my device. And to take them out, as simple as tapping on that red minus. Tap, remove, tap, remove, tap, and remove. Just like that, I've removed all of them. It's really a great, great feature, guys. So depending on how you want to use it, go to your control center settings in your settings app and just add those settings or those controls that you physically want to use. Awesome. So that is your control center where you quickly want to access your controls. If you have the home button, you will swipe from the bottom to access your control center. If you have the latest devices, from the top right-hand corner where your battery is situated, you're going to swipe down and you will access your control center. Right. So we all have numerous content on our devices, and sometimes it's difficult to find them because we put them in so many different places. Maybe it's an email, a file, a photograph, you name it. You want to find even a contact. If you quickly want to search for a contact, you don't have to go to your contacts to actually search for it, guys. Oh no, there's a different option that you can use, and it's called Spotlight Search. So Spotlight Search can be accessed by swiping down on any part of your home screen. All I do is I swipe down and there's Spotlight Search quickly and easily. And I can search for anything. If it's on my device, based on that search engine on my phone, it will easily find it just like that. It's really, really great. But what else can we use Spotlight Search for? Yes, we have a built-in calculator, but you can even do some basic calculations directly here in Spotlight Search. But you can also maybe do some conversions. If you want to convert one unit to another unit, let's maybe say I want to know what 12 ounces are. I just put it in there, 12 ounces. Immediately it provides me with the answer that I can easily know, okay, yes, that is what I want to know. Or maybe it's a currency converter. You want to maybe know what the rand dollar exchange rate is. You're maybe getting something on Amazon and you want to know how much you're going to pay in rands for that. So you just say, one, you can either use the dollar icon, or you can just say USD for United States dollar. And there you go, 14 Rand 56. It never looked better. Oh my word, it's looking stunning. That's the South African Rand based on $1 US. It's really, really great that we can get all this information inside of Spotlight Search. How do we access Spotlight Search again, guys? Anywhere on your home screen, you swipe down and you are inside Spotlight Search. But how's the other way that we can maybe search for content on our devices? So we all would love to have a personal assistant of sorts. We all have it built in on our iPhones, guys. It's called Siri. So Siri is your digital assistant, and you can ask Siri almost anything, and Siri will provide you with the answer. Or you can even ask Siri to do something for you. So let's maybe put it into a scenario of sorts. You're driving, and suddenly you remember, oh, good grief, I need to make an appointment to go and see the doctor. So instead of picking up your phone and then putting that calendar event into your phone and then maybe causing an accident in the process, why not ask Siri to just do it for you? So you can either activate, hey, not going to say it, otherwise all my devices are going to go off on my side, but using those magic words, hey, and then you can immediately talk to Siri from that point. Or you can just press and hold the side button, or if you have the home button, press and hold your home button and you will activate Siri. But like I mentioned, you can ask Siri to do anything. So I'm going to set a calendar event for tomorrow. So watch this, guys. I'm just going to activate Siri quickly. Set a calendar event tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Make doctor's appointment.
I scheduled your event for tomorrow from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock.
Wonderful. Siri did all the work for me. I didn't have to do anything. I just said that, or obviously I physically pressed this time around, but essentially if you use those magic words, Siri is immediately available for you to do whatever you want. Or maybe you want to just play something on Apple Music, your favorite playlist, or maybe your favorite artist. Play me some Barbara Streisand, or maybe some Cher, whatever it is that you are listening to, and Siri will play immediately on Apple Music. It's really great what we can do with Siri. Maybe if you want to know what the weather update is in a different country, or different, maybe you're going down to Cape Town and you want to know what the weather is like. Siri, what's the weather like in Cape Town?
Currently cloudy at 19 degrees in Cape Town.
It's really great that I can use Siri anytime I want for anything on my device. So guys, I encourage you, use Siri and you'll be blown away with what you can do. It's really, really amazing what one can do. Cool. Okay. If you want to know even more tips on how to use your device, all you have to do is go to the tips section or the tips application on your device. And it will provide you with even more information, maybe on iOS 14, or maybe some basic information on your device itself, on the iPhone. It's really great, all the information that we can get on our iPhones, guys. So go into that tips option or that tips application and you can see all of that. Or what you can do is you can even book for another session on iStore Meet. So guys, I would definitely encourage you, book for other sessions. Go onto our website, istore.co.za/meets, and you can book for numerous other sessions that we provide on iStore Meets, just to learn so much more about these devices that we use every single day. And if you are living in that entire Apple ecosystem, you will learn how everything just works together in such a beautiful way. So I definitely encourage you to go and book for other sessions on iStore Meets. Right, so that is getting started with iPhone. Guys, we've touched the surface. We haven't even gone into 5% of what you can do on your iPhone. There's still numerous more things and features that the iPhone actually has to offer. And you can even book for maybe personal training if you want to go over some more personal things based on what you want to do on your Apple devices. The only thing that's left for me to say is, guys, thank you. Thank you for spending this hour with me. It was great having you online. If you have any particular questions, please pop them in the Q&A and I will answer all of those questions for you. Otherwise, have yourself a wonderful afternoon. A Merry Christmas to all of you out there, and we'll see you again online real soon. Bye for now, everybody.